What up, what up, what up, my 4C gang? Welcome to another episode with your boy, Cooking with Comedian Michael Allen. What? Don't judge me, judge your motherfucking self. What's going on? What's going on, my 4C gang? First and foremost, I just want to tell everybody thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we 13 subscribers away to getting to 7K. 13 subscribers away from getting to 7K. Oh, we'll get there. I'm not even worried about it because y'all know how we are out here in these YouTube streets. So today I'm not cooking. You see, I don't have any food in front of me. That's not what I'm going to do today. It's going to be all about story time and my story, me living my truth, me telling my truth, me talking about my life. Maybe this may help somebody else. I don't know, but it worked for me. Okay, as you can see in the title, you kind of know what I'm going to talk about today, right? And the reason I want to do a video like this is because me growing up, I didn't see any videos like this. Nobody that I knew it. I think it's a little more prevalent, a little more open now. People talk about it more, but it's still something that is kind of hush hush, swept under the rug, and a lot of people don't. I mean, still to this day, and I'm surprised at that. That a lot of times is not talking about. It's dealt with, but it's not talking about. It's not talked about. Oh, excuse me, I just smoked a joint. What? Don't judge me, judge yourself. So anyway, I was molested from the ages of 4 till about 6 and a half. And it was by my mother's boyfriend's brother. So if I was 4, he had to be about 24, 25. Named Lawrence. I can say the name. For years, I wouldn't even hardly say the name. Yeah, Lawrence. I was 4, from the ages of 4 to 6 and a half. And now I'm not even going to see, and I keep saying molested. I'm going to say raped. See, we kind of use these words and try to skirt around and make me feel better. No, I was raped from 4 to 6 and a half. And you have to realize at 4 years old, as a child, you don't, sex, I knew nothing about sex. I never thought about it. That wasn't even on my mind. And so I feel like my innocence was stole from me. I think, I'll say this, the adults around me, they failed me. They failed me. They failed. They failed me. At 4 years old, you can't protect yourself. You don't know. There were no commercials out, just tell somebody. I didn't even know what was happening to me. It was no commercials out, tell somebody if somebody touched you back then. Because you got to realize this was in 73. From 73 to 75, almost 76. Wasn't nobody talking about that then. It happened. And a lot of times it made me question myself, why me? Why me? Why did they choose to come in the room with me? I remember my mother whooped me, and I play the scene over and over in my head. And when I look back on over my life, I realize a lot of things I've done, a lot of my decisions have been all because of that one act. The way I felt about myself, the way I acted out, all of that come from that one act. And I don't feel like it was nobody there to protect me. When I look back over and I look back at that, there was nobody there to protect. Nobody was protecting me. Everybody was in their own little thing. My mother had whooped me. I don't know what I did. I did something. And we were over her boyfriend's mother's house. Mrs. Evans is her name. Mrs. Evans and Tookie. And when she whooped me, she laid me down in her boyfriend's brother's room. The boyfriend brother was at work, right? Lawrence was at work. I can remember this so well. I mean, it's amazing how at 4 years old, my mind was so vivid. I can go back to that so good. I know it so well. I think that's why I always acted older than my age because I was put in older situations at a young age. So my mother whooped me for something I did, and she laid me down, as most parents do, lay you down. And he was at work, and she laid me down in his room, and I'm in there crying. It's almost like, well, anyway, she laid me down in his room, and I'm crying. And don't move. You lay your ass here and go to sleep. That. So I'm in there crying at 4 years old. I remember it so well, like it was yesterday, and that was 48 years ago, almost 48 years ago. So I'm laying there crying. Lawrence was a big stature of a man, kind of heavy set a little bit. When I look at and I think about it, my body cringes. I think that's why I have a certain type now because I go opposite of what they were, what Lawrence was. That's not my type, and it's basically because of that. We don't realize that things that happen in your life molds you almost into who you are. Subconsciously, I didn't even know that. Well, anyway, he walks into the room. I don't know what my mom and all of them were doing, but I know nobody else came. Nobody checked on me after I was in that room. And for him to have the balls to come in there while there were people in the house, all these adults in there, and he came into that room and said, "Oh, what's wrong, little Michael?" Because they called me little Michael and they called my mama Big Michael. "What's wrong, little Michael?" And he had never, I had been around him. He had never ever came at me that way or said, he was just nice, always nice. Lawrence was nice. And so I said, "No, Mama, I'm crying." I said, "Mama, what me?" He said, "Oh." And he sat on the bed and he started rubbing me. And in my mind, I knew this rub was a little different than a calm you down rub or it's going to be all right rub. It was a, "Oh, I like you" rub. And at 4 years old, I didn't know what that rub was, but I look back on it now and I can tell. And he just kept rubbing me. And then he rubbed me between my legs and now I'm having feelings that I had never experienced before. At 4 years old, I had never even thought about it. And then he went down on me at 4 years old. Here I have these emotions and I'm excited at 4 years old and I don't know what's going on with me. All I know was it felt good. It felt good. Then he took my hands and made me touch him, and I liked it. We feel guilty because we like it. We feel guilty because we don't understand what that feeling is. After the fact, you feel guilty. He never threatened me. He never said, "I'm going to kill your parents." He never said, "You better not tell nobody." I didn't I didn't know what it was, and there was nothing wrong with it. He kissed me passionately at 4, made me do things I had never done, and I'm thinking, what if they? I'm not. So after that first time, well, of course I stopped crying because what was happening to me, and and so, and I don't want people. I'm not making light of this. I started doing things on purpose to get a whooping after that because I knew what was going to happen. And it happened like clockwork. I get a whooping, you lay me down in the room. Get a whooping, you lay me down in the room. And they always came in. It always came in. At that young age, I felt like I was in a relationship with him. And he came in there like clockwork. I look back on it in my own weird way. I was in love at that young age. Not knowing what love was. But I knew that that was something I liked and something I wanted. But am I to blame? At 4, am I to blame? Do I know what's going on with me? The only time, well, the first time that I realized something was wrong with what was going on, because I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I didn't know. The first time I realized something was wrong and what he was doing was not right was all the adults were sitting out in the living room. I don't know why we went over Miss Evans' house so damn much, but we was always over there. I don't know if we lived next door to her. I think we did live next door or something like that. I really just don't remember. That would be something I have to ask my mother. But all the adults were sitting in the living room, and Lawrence was sitting there. He was sitting with his legs up on the couch or something. And I went over to him and just stood in between his legs. And the way he pushed me away, so scarily, and the scared look on his face, and that's when I said, oh, this ain't right. Mind you, I'm probably about 5, 6 now. But I didn't know what it was, but I was like, okay, that ain't right. Because it was just this startled, scared look on his face. Because I went up in a loving way because of what you've been doing to me. Now I'm shocked that the people around me didn't get that. I'm shocked that the adults around me didn't catch it. Did not catch it. And I think after that moment, it stopped. Because he was scared of getting exposed. And I never said anything. I went on, I had girlfriends, but that stayed in my mind. That stayed in my mind. I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about Lawrence. I kept thinking about Lawrence. Be with this girl. I kept thinking about Lawrence. Having sex. I kept thinking about Lawrence. He had permanently damaged, permanently altered my idea and perception of sex, because you have to realize my first encounter with sex was with this man. And see, I'm just being real and raw here. I'd be with a girl, oh, her lips don't feel like that. I don't feel a little stubbiness. I feel like he stole my innocence. I had a debate with a friend of mine, and they were saying, well, they born gay. They swore up and down they were born gay. And I say, no, I wasn't. Because I always wonder, if a woman had been molesting me, would I have them same feelings? Would I feel the same way? So I believe some people are. I just know I wasn't. All I knew was I'd grow up, get married, have some kids, live happily ever after. But that's not how it worked out. So now he done planted the seed in my head. These feelings that I can't explain. These feelings that I'm fighting every day of my life. These feelings that I'm praying to God, please take these feelings away, dear Lord. Jesus, I don't want to be this way. It's so many times that I've sat and cried, having all sisters, me being the only boy, not wanting to disappoint my mama, not wanting to disappoint my daddy, not wanting to face society. Seeing how my family treated my older gay cousin and called him names and talked about him behind his back, and said some of the foulest things about him. I didn't want that. So I was good at Doing enough just to get, doing enough just not so nobody say nothing about it. Oh, they had their suspicions, they were, but I did enough that you didn't come talk to me about it. You didn't say that to me. I always had people on the fence, wondering, oh, he probably just like that because he got all sisters. You know, they would make up excuses for it. But it was there. The seed had been planted. There would be times that Lawrence would come around. I'd be in a car with my mother. We'd pull up, and he'd come up and he'd rub me. Hey, little Michael, and I would this hatred would come over me, cause I would look and go, I dare you, motherfucker, touch. You've been touch, you've been touching me, and I dare you come up to me like we buddies and cool. Now I'm about 15, 16. Hey, little Michael, don't you dare fucking little Michael me. And my mama would be so nice. She had no idea. Hey, Lauren. And I kind of would give her a look. You know, I would have wished she would have said to me, what's wrong? Why you don't like Lawrence? Because I would have said something then. But, you know, even then I knew, by that time I knew if I had told my mother, she would have killed him. And she would have been in prison. And I would have been without my mother. So I made the choice to not say anything because I didn't want anything that happened to my mama. I knew the type of woman she was. I knew what she would do to him if I had told her. So anyway, I'd see him and my stomach would just turn, and he had got a little fat and sloppy, and I really, oh, that touched me, you know. So anyway, he ends up dying and passing away. He died. I don't even remember how he died. I don't even know if we went to the funeral or not. I'm sure my mom probably went. I don't know if we went. No, if I had went, I would have remembered. Yeah, I think that's why I'm so good now at people's funeral, telling my truth, because we bury stuff. We sweep stuff under the rug. So a movie came out. My mother and I. Now, mind you, I'm having these feelings I can't even explain. At 15 or 16, I'm trying to find myself as a young man. I'm cute. I'm nice looking. So women are coming at me every which way, and men are too. Sometimes we attract what we are. Sometimes we attract what we are. I hadn't had any relationship with a guy after that. You know, it was girls strictly. And so my mother and I. No, no, no. Let me backtrack. Okay, so I'm sitting here lying, saying I gotta live in my truth. I did about 13 because I did have sex. I had sex with girls, but then I had sex with a guy at 14, which I just saw them on my 50th birthday. How ironic! My 51st birthday, I saw them, and we really talked about it. So anyway, so I knew then. I knew by then. I knew what it was that I wanted. I knew what it is that I liked in my life. I knew that I wanted to act like a man and not be treated like the other people that I saw that were in the LGBT community, and see what, because you got to realize this was at a point in time where they were gay bashing people and beating them up. You know, the first thing I want you to see about me when I was walking down the street is a man. Now, once we had a conversation, you may get it, but I also wanted you to know that this ain't what you want to step to, not just in that. This is way before people were shooting each other. This is when you can put these up and fight. So I had no problem getting down like that. I had no problem. So I didn't go through a lot of that. No. Yeah. And when I did, I whooped that ass. But anyway, now I'm about 16, 17. I really know I'm coming into who I am. I really know who I am. Now I'm fighting the world. I'm fighting the world. Fighting the world. All on something that I didn't even do, that somebody else did to me. So anyway, my mother and I are sitting in her room watching TV. Just me and her. I have no idea what my sisters were, but it was just me and my mother. I've always been a mama's boy. I always wanted to be next to her, up under her, around her. So anyway, my mother and I are sitting there watching a TV movie with Ted Danson from Cheers, the bartender Ted Danson. And it was called Something About Amelia. It was called Something About Amelia, where Ted Danson was molesting his daughter. And so we watched this movie. I don't think me and my mother said anything. I mean, because this movie was good. It was intense, and I was reliving. I was reliving everything that little girl was going through. That's what I was going through at that moment, and it just flooded. All the memories flooded back on me. So now I'm sitting there as a 17-year-old man, or young man. I'm mad now because I'm fighting the world. I'm fighting society. I'm fighting family members that got things to say. I'm questioning me. And all of this goes to Lawrence for taking my innocence like that. I always said to myself, if a woman had molested me, what would have been the difference? So now I got all these what ifs in my life. So after the movie, I remember my mama saying, "Oh my, I can't believe. Oh, I wish somebody would to my babies, my girls, her girls." And so I turn and I say, "I was molested." She said, "What?" At some moment, I had to get that thing up off me. I had to get up because I got tired of being questioned, and I wanted other people to take responsibility as well. I was four. I was supposed to be protected. I was supposed to be looked after. I was supposed to be watched over. And now people coming at me because of things that adults allowed to happen to me. When you put some ice cream in front of a baby, as soon as that baby get their first taste of that ice cream, what does it do? Their face light up. It's good. It's delicious. Now they like ice cream. Well, anyway, I say to my mother, I was molested. She said, "Stop lying." "No, you weren't." I said, "I was." She said, "By who?" I could see it coming in her. I could see it coming. And this is why I didn't tell her why the man was alive, because I knew she would have killed him, and I knew my mother would have been in prison. I knew I wouldn't have seen her. And when I said, "Lauren, when? Where?" Now it's all these questions. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I would have killed him." Don't get mad at me for not telling you. So, I mean, she wasn't like mad, but she was mad because she felt like I should have told her. I should have been able to tell her anything. And I wanted th- I wanted that moment for something to click in her and say, "Oh, okay, this is why. This explains A, B, C." You know, because it was hard for me being the only boy named after my mother. Me having a hard mama that knew all about the streets, baby. My mama was a street woman. She knew it. She was about that life. And yet here I come out and I have to say, "Hey, I'm gay." That's some of the hardest moments we went through, me and her. It really was hard moments. My mother questioning herself of what she did wrong, and there's been a many nights we cried, and I'm blaming her because I feel like she should have known, and I dare you now question me. My mother was a barmaid, and she'd come home from work, "Michael," wake me up in the night, and I'd be sitting there, "How did you get like this?" She would name everybody in my family, and I'm thinking to her, "I told you who touched me." "What do you mean? How did I get like this?" "Lawrence touched me, your boyfriend's brother." Then I remember her saying to me, "Well, you have to wait till you move out of my house before you be like that." There's nothing when your mother looks at you in a way where, not disgusted, but she's unhappy about something that you had no control over, something that you can't control. You don't know how many times I laid in my bed and cried and say, God, take this away from me. Take this feeling away from me. Take the taste out of my mouth. Take the lust that I had. Not even lust, just take it away. Why even introduce it to me? Why even allow it to happen? At 4, where I had no control over my life, no control over who was around me, no control over who I was around, no control, no control, no control. But yet, now I am all the one to blame. That was one of the most loneliest times of my life. You think I wanted to? You think I just woke up one day and said, "Oh, I had a whole society against me. Everything I do, everybody's gonna let me have it." That was nothing that I chose to do. That was nothing I chose. I don't know anybody in their right mind that would choose that at that time. I don't know about now, but I'm saying at that time. And I remember, I thank God for my cousin Roland. I remember he kind of took me under his wing because I knew he was gay as well. That was just a given. Same thing with him. His brother molested him. But then everybody wanted to call him name, but nobody wanted to put the brother in jail. When my Aunt Teresa said, hey, when it came out that his brother was molesting him, they said, well, do you want your brother to go to jail? Yes, he should. But see, we don't want to talk about that part, but we want to talk about the after part. Now he gay. Oh, I can't believe he's gay. Okay, why is he that way? Maybe if you had dealt with the problem, you wouldn't have this after effect. Everybody want to call him a sissy, but what about the nigga that touched him? What about the brother that y'all did not want to go to jail? People kill me with that. You have a lot of gay people in this world because people have violated them. And I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a majority. A majority of my friends have been molested. A majority of them. And I thank God for my cousin Roland because he took me under his wing and he taught me to say, you know what, okay, if this is who you're gonna be and this is who you are, you be proud of it. Don't let nobody change that about you. Don't you ever hold your head down about being that way. It's just who you are. And I left home at, I had to be about 16 or 17 when I left home. Thank God that he had a place and I lived with him. And he said, but I'm going to tell you this, only thing you better finish school. He had structure for me. And somewhere along that line, my mother and I became back home. Now she's like a lot of my gay friends be like, oh, I wish your mama was my mama. But like, she wasn't always that way. I had to get her there. She wasn't always that way. I had to get her there. My partner became, she called him son-in-law until the day he died. He called her mom-in-law. Hell, me and him broke up. They were still cool. That's mama. She said, you the one broke up with him, not me. But I had to get her there. Oh, I've had times where cousins, your sissy, your fag, and I would just look. But half of you hit on me. Come on, somebody. That's another thing I don't understand. I can call out some people's names if I wanted to where y'all be careful of those brothers that'll sit and call somebody a fag and a sissy. Because those be the main ones that's hitting on you. That's hitting on them when ain't nobody watching and ain't looking. Come on, let's call it what it is. I've had sister boyfriends hit on me. And you know what? But I got so used to it that I just cut it out and it go on one ear and out the other. Live your truth, because I'm living mine. Those were some of the hardest, darkest days of my life. First of all, you're already awkward as a teenager, trying to come into yourself and find yourself and your body changing and all it is. And to have that on top of it, to never had counseling for it, to never had really talked about it. Being a house full of women, I was asking, my sisters, another thing with them, going, you fag, even they called me, you fag, you sissy, but you know what? But when I would turn around, and because that's one of the reasons I'm a comedian, is because the power of the words, and I built up this wall and say, okay, you want to kick me? I'm gonna kick you even harder. So I would say shit back, and maybe it'll hurt their feelings. It'll hurt their feelings. Because I asked my one sister, we no longer speak, but I asked her, was I bad, brother? She said, yeah, well, you did call us some names and stuff. You think? You think? You called me every name. So when I turned back and called you, it was better than me beating your motherfucking ass. Oh, I've had some people say some dirty things, and that's why I made this steel of armor. That's why I can get on stage and crack jokes. That's why when somebody come at me, I always got a good clap back, because that's all I've been doing all my life. I've been scratching and surviving. I'm going to shut you down. And baby, it got to a point where people in my family wouldn't even say nothing to me. I don't hear them words no more. I didn't hear them then too much because I shut it down. You want to call out my flaw? Let me call out all your flaws. Oh, and it's a lot in this damn family. Let me call them flaws out. And people wonder, I used to be so bitter, but now I'm better. I used to be bitter, but now I'm better. Come on, that's a word right there. I used to be bitter, but now I'm better. People, y'all don't get it. Where, you go to church and you hear that's wrong, and you hear people saying it's wrong, and wrong, wrong, wrong. And now, all that wrong is who you are. So you wrong. You feeling like you wrong. I will not go into a church where, I'm going to give you a good example. I was at one church, loved the church, Citadel of Praise, Pastor Spencer T. I loved it. Went to every service, went to Bible study. I loved it, I loved it, I loved it. But what I will not do, come on somebody, is sit in a church where you will down the LGBT community, and most of the people in there are LGBT. Change don't come if we don't make a change. I've never even spoke to Pastor about this, but I just abruptly stopped going because one day we were in church, and mind you, the pastor and I had a good relationship. I can't know. I watch him online still to this day, but I just can't be a part of it until I'm able to be truly my authentic self. It's one thing with these churches where they say you can come in as long as you don't talk about it. We know what you are, but we don't want to hear about it. Don't say nothing about it. Oh, you can do our music ministry, but don't say nothing about it. Oh, you know what? You can decorate the hall for so-and-so, but don't say nothing about it. Oh, we want you to sing a good song because they kind of very talented, but just don't talk about it. Oh, you come in here every Sunday, ain't got no wife. It's you and your friend, but don't say nothing about it. Oh, give us your tithes and offering, but don't say nothing about it. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. So, the pastor one day I love the message that he was doing. He said, who in here don't have no money? Most people was too embarrassed or whatever. And one guy raised his hand. And he said, come here, my brother. And my pastor took out, I think it was a $50 or $100 bill. And he said, hold up, but I'm not going to give it to you yet. He said, God will send you through some stuff in order to get you to what you need. Come on, somebody. We was like, yeah. So he's walking him around the church. He said, hold up, you got to go down. He took him down to 1 hour. He said, because these people going to talk about you before God give you your blessing. I mean, it was deep, and I was feeling it. So he grabbed the guy's hand again and said, and this was right after they passed the law in Michigan. making same-sex marriage legal. So my pastor grabs his hand and goes, oh, I ain't gay. I don't care what laws they pass. I ain't gay. And that stirs something up in me. And I mean, the church was, and I'm looking like half you people are gay. Why would you clap and applaud that? So, and I had just paid my tithes, just put some money in the offering, and so something just went through me, and I said, so I went back next Sunday. That thing set on me, it set with me. It's amazing how we can just pick the parts of the Bible we really want to talk about. We don't want to talk about everybody's stuff. So I went back to next Sunday. Me and a friend of mine, and they stood up, and this was what the straw that broke the camel's back for me. They stood up. They made church announcement. They said, who's all celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I saw the couple stand up and say, oh, it's 20 years we've been together. And I said to myself, so if I got married, because it's legally now, legal, I couldn't get married in a church that I'm supporting. That's not going to happen. I could not, and if I did get married, and when it's on our 10th anniversary, and if I stand up and they say anybody's celebrating our anniversary, and me and Dion, me and Jamal, some name like that, we stand up, it'd be a scandal in the church. So you mean to tell me I can't do nothing but come to this church, get the word, and be buried in this church? Then it's not the church for me. It's not the church for me. Mm-mm. 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 Even when you have friends, family and friends, y'all get into it, the first thing they want to go, you fag, you sissy, you probably got AIDS, that's what you've been feeling the whole time. You ain't just say that because you got mad. That's what you've been feeling the whole time. But you need to respect people like us because we telling it to you. We giving it to you. We out here being who we are. But you have so many undercover, down low brothers that smile in your face, laying in your bed, having sex with you raw, but out here doing these. Come on. Come on. The highest the highest percentage of HIV cases is black women. Hmm. Don't blame the gay folk. Blame your man. There ain't no gay man running up in you. That's that down low brother. Huh. Ooh, I just took a turn, didn't I? But I just say this to say this that stop when you see somebody gay, you don't know their story. You don't know why they are what they are. You don't know what they've been through. I was raped from 4 to 6. I was raped. You blame me? Oh, well, you can change your life around. Stop with all that. Don't come at me with that. I am who I am, and it is what it is. I have to answer because I got some questions too. On Judgment Day, swords, I got to answer to some questions. I got some questions I won't answer. Come on, somebody. It's all right to question God. It's all right to question God. It's all right to question God. Stop it. Stop it. Somebody out right here now talking about, no, you don't. No, it's all right to question God. Because if you don't question him, you won't get the answer. Come on. Nobody wake up and say, oh, I just want the whole world against me today. This is what I think I'm going to be. You know, I look back and it's amazing how certain, you know, people see stories differently. My mother, it's sometimes me and her sit down and talking. She'll be like, no, it was this way, and I see it one other way, and it's always I'm always gonna know it was the way I saw it, and she's gonna always see it the way she saw it. You ask my sisters, all of it, how was our life growing up? You gonna get 5 different damn stories. I remember my mama put me in juvenile. I stayed out. I was 16. Me and my cousin Roland, I stayed out. He was like, "You ain't gonna get in trouble." I was like, "No." This is how I ended up living with him. All I did was go out. And how could you be mad at me? Hell, you had babies at 14, 15, 14. And all I'm doing is going out. And I remember being at home and she come in and I had took my shoes off and everything. And my mama come and she said, "Where the hell you been?" I was like, she said, "Oh, you got to get the hell out of my house. Now it's snow outside." I said, "Okay, well, let me get my shoes." You go out barefoot, motherfucker. That's how my mama was. You ain't get no motherfucking shoes. I'm looking like I am not gonna walk out here in my socks in the snow. But that was her. You want me to leave, but you don't want me to leave. So she goes to grab me, and I hold her back. And when I hold her back like this, her back hits the china cabinet, and the china cabinet breaks. Oh, this bitch trying to, you fighting me, bitch. And she tells my cousin, who I still can't stand to this day, go get my gun. And my cousin went and got the gun, so I runs into the kitchen. Now, I just stepped on the glass, my foot is bleeding, and my mama comes in the kitchen, she said, "Yes, bitch." She said, "You're going to have to jump out of one of these windows. That's the only way you're going to get up out of here." And I'm looking at the, I'm looking at the windows, it's birds on the, I can't get out. So I was cute about forget it. I literally pushed her to get, pushed past her. And I ran outside, barefoot, in the snow. All of that because of who I liked. And all of that because of what Lawrence did. All of that because of when you put me in to lay me down. Come on. When I think of that, that's why I need therapy for shit like that. So I run across the street to Teresa and Ronnie, they sisters and brothers, and Tweet, the plumbers. I ran to their house, banging on the door. "Hurry, please let me in." So they let me. I said, "Whatever you do, please don't let mama in." Now there's a blood trail, so my mama can see exactly. Her and my oldest sister, you black bitch. Excuse my friend. Say, "Oh, Lord, be a fence all around me. Take that taste, take that meanness, take that ugliness that I just let come out of my mouth away from me. I'm only human. I'm only human. Jesus, take that away from me." My sister. Let me take that back. I don't speak to her. I don't mess with her, and I'm not gonna do that. My sister. Um, they come over to the house, and I'm in the bedroom with Teresa just had a baby, Keisha. So I'm on the other side of the crib, and my mom was like, "Whatever I tap in this motherfucker, I'll pay for it." So I'm running around the crib. She trying to get me. Finally, she gets me. My sister helps her. You had nothing to do with it. Why you get your black ass in it? Anyway, I just like forget it. My mother's on top of me. She's banging my head on the floor. "Damn it! You out here? You like boys? You whooping my ass because I like boys? You whooping my ass ain't gonna change it. You whooping my ass ain't taking nothing out of me. Now you gonna make me like rough sex. Stop it. This, and I'll never forget. Now she'd have called the police. The police there, the ambulance there, because my foot is cut. My grandfather told me, yeah, look, his old, that's a whole different story with my grandfather, my grandmother's boyfriend. So the police, the ambulance wrapped my feet up or whatever, and they put me in the back of the police car. Why? I ain't did nothing. Nowadays you arrest a parent for pulling a gun out and doing that, but they arrested me. And so this was in 85, 84, 85, somewhere in there. So I'm sitting in the back of the police car, and there's two black male police officers. They were very cute, by the way. So anyway, I am talking. I'm mad now. I don't give a damn. It take you to get mad. See, I'm one of those people. When I ain't got shit else to lose, and ain't nobody gonna whoop my ass now. Hell, it is what I am. I mean, I am what I am, and I'm living my truth. So the police was like, "Man, would you be quiet? We just trying to see if you could go back in there, if your mama gonna let you come back in the house, because we try not to take you to juvenile." I said, "No, take me to juvenile, because I will not go back in that house." How And I think me and her had just different outlook. I'm mad. She mad because my son gay. I'm mad because I was in your care in your situation. Do you get what I'm saying? I dare you blame me for what my surroundings that you had me in. I had no control over that. I said, no, take me to juvenile. The police officer say, well, your mama said you like boys. I said, she's a damn lie. I like men. So at that point, I was feeling me. I felt free. And that's the best thing that could have happened to me, because at that particular moment, I said to myself, I will not deny, I will not hide, I will not act any differently. I'm going to be who I am. And that's a proud gay black man. Yes. That was a defining moment in my life right there. As they were driving me. Oh, yes, I went to juvenile. I was in it for 2 weeks. One of the best moments I ever had. Oh, okay. Oh, stop it. Y'all know I'm silly. But my mother actually came to visit me, and I denied the visits. I didn't even want to see her. I did not want to see her. Matter of fact, I missed my 8th grade graduation because I was in juvenile. I was class valedictorian and didn't even go to my. So I wasn't like I was a bad child. It was just me living my truth. I missed my 8th grade graduation where I was class valedictorian and I was not there because I was in juvenile. Does that even seem like it go together? Class valedictorian, juvenile. Why can you imagine I'm in there and people saying, what you in here for? I said, I made up a lie and said, stabbing my mama's boyfriend. Not to say, I like boys and I was hanging out, my mama mad. And I don't think, that's why when I tell my mama the therapist want her to come and she doesn't come, but that's her. That's what she has to live with. I have to live with it. I have to do what works for me to get me better. But when this stuff pop up, everybody think I'm crazy. Because, you have moments. And a lot of stuff you don't remember. It just happens to hit you one day. It just happens to hit you one day. So with all these, look. Okay, y'all. All I'm just saying, watch your babies. Make sure that they good. Ask questions. And if something happens to them, don't blame them for what adults have done to them. However their life turned out, what choices they make, don't dare blame them. Allow them to be who they are. Everything say everything happened for a reason. It sure does. Everything does happen for a reason. We can say shoulda, woulda, couldas all day long. I didn't realize that I was such a broken man, such a hurt man, such a confused man. The best thing I could have ever did was start going to therapy. Matter of fact, I have a therapy session tomorrow. I didn't even think it would work. What could they tell me? But it works. It's working on me. Because you got to let that stuff out. You got to let it out. And a lot of times I say, I won't say this. Even when I'm doing comedy, I won't say this. I won't say it because I don't want to hurt my mama feeling. I don't want to hurt my daddy feeling. I don't want to hurt this person. I don't want. All of that is out the window. I got to be all right. I have to be okay. And if that's me telling my truth, come on, somebody. If that's me telling my truth, and if my story happens to include you and it hurts you, I cannot be better for anybody else unless I'm better for myself. And the only way I can be better for myself is to take accountability and responsibility for my life, as well as other people need to do. There's story after story I can tell you to why my life is the way it is. But it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. You know, I tell people this all the time. The most comedians are comedians because they want to make up them making other people laugh helps ease our own pain. Trust, a lot of comedians are in so much pain, but we try to take that pain and turn it into laughter and make other it makes me feel good when I make other people laugh. But that's a double edged sword because the same way I can make you laugh, I can make you cry. Mm, come on, somebody. That's that pain. That's that pain. And when you have people in your life that don't want to take accountability for that, or you have people that throw a rock and hide their hand, it's all right for you to call me fag, but I can't call you a bitch. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Ain't those the two in the same words? All right, y'all. I hope I helped somebody. I hope somebody got something out of this. I hope this. Well, my channel ain't for people. You got to be 18 and over to watch my channel. But that young person out there, let me tell you, the young person out there that's confused about your feelings right now, don't know which way to turn. People coming at you all which way, downing you, shaming you. Let it go. Let it go. Hold your head up. Be who you are. Live in your truth. You have people like me that came before you doing what we do so you can be who you are. Come on. Come on. Shout out to all my LGBTQ, XYZ, MLM, we got too many letters. But shout out to all y'all. Big ups. All right. Ooh, baby, I'm getting some stuff. Ooh, my last couple of videos been deep, ain't they? Wow. That was a good one. I felt that. Felt like something. Anyway. Hey. I'm a proud black man first. I'm black first. All that other shit falls behind. I'm black first. I'm a black man first. And I will be treated and addressed as such. Accordingly. No, I'm not one of those gay people you run up to and just think you can say and do what you want. That ain't me. I will be addressed accordingly. I will be treated as such. Come on. So, anyway, is this your first time looking at my channel? Is this topic a little too deep for you, a little too much? I don't give a damn. But what I do want you to do, go ahead and subscribe. Come on, y'all. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We need 13 more subscribers in order to be at 7K. We doing these things in these YouTube streets. 4C game for life. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktail. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktail. 4C game for life, baby. What? Whoop, whoop. No. Okay, that's me acting straight. What up, baby? You all right? You all right? What's your name? What's your name? Come here. Come here, little mama. Come here, little mama. What up? What up? What up? Can I get that number? No. That ain't never been me. Even if I was straight, I wouldn't talk like that. I'd still be a black, intelligent man trying to get into them draws. Don't judge me. Judge your damn self. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe, all right? Please, please, please. Let's get to that 7K and even beyond. I want you to like this video. Go ahead and like it. Share it. Share it too. Please share it. There's some young person out there that's trying to come into their own and figure out who they are. Maybe this video will help them. Maybe they can hear my story and it'll uplift them and say, you know what, okay, I'm cool. I'm cool. Then I want you to comment. Say what you feel. You know, it's a lot of people out there that's been molested that don't even talk about it. There's a lot of people out there a lot of women have been raped that don't even talk about it. Felt like it was their fault. It's never your fault, especially when you're a child. It's never your fault. At 4 years old, I didn't know nothing. Had never even knew what sex was. Didn't talk about it. Didn't know how babies got here. Didn't know none of that. Wasn't even in school yet. Didn't even know how to write my own damn name yet. But I knew how to get some head because I was feeling good from this old person molesting me. Sometimes, you know what? That's why I'm working on that thing. I'm working on that thing. You stole my innocence, nigga. I'd probably have about 9 babies right now married for 20, 30 years. But that just wasn't the role for me. Who am I to? It just wasn't the role. So, okay. Then y'all know what I need y'all to do, right? Ring my bell, ring my bell, ring a ring a ring. Ooh, ooh. You can ring my bell. You can ring my bell. You can ring my bell anytime, any day. Just ring it. Just ring it. Just ring it. Ring my damn bell. Or go to hell. All right, y'all. Look, I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all know I love me some y'all, but I just don't love you more than I love my damn self. All right, this your boy, comedian Michael Allen. I'm out. Peace. Have a blessed day.